The Mars launch has been an absolute shit show, which we've seen with so many other launches on Terra where something goes wrong. And before we get into it, welcome to Crypto Saver. So many of you should be aware that today on March 7, Mars was supposed to launch, right? Their full protocol was supposed to launch, and it also meant that you should be able to claim your Mars tokens from phase 1 and also your airdrops whenever the whole protocol launches, right? And we weren't given an exact time as to when it launched. There was some estimates it would be in a couple hours, even from when I make this video, which is at 8:40 a.m. Eastern time. But let me just show you the chart right now for Mars. Take a look at this chart over here, right? So this is Eastern time that we're looking at, right? So you can kind of see that around 6:12 a.m. Eastern time, which was about 12 minutes after phase 2 ended, there was traction. There was activity happening on Astroport for MARS-UST pool. And it took about 40 minutes or so later, and then all of a sudden, the price just started collapsing on us, right? We went from the price of $1.63 all the way to 81 cents right now. And here's the beautiful thing, that even as I make this video right now, if you were to try to claim your Mars tokens, either from phase 1 or from the airdrop, you will not be able to do so. So what I want to do in this video, I just want to show you chronologically what was actually happening in these last 1 to 2 hours. So at 6:14, we had a moderator here, right, on Mars, saying that the protocol is not yet live and it's expected to go live in the next few hours. And this was at 6:14 a.m., again, Eastern time, okay? The devs will check to make sure everything is working fine. Okay, perfect. 10 minutes later, after that message, someone's asking, red candle right now? Are the devs dumping everything? And someone says, looks live on CoinHall, at least it's trading. Someone asks, how are people claiming? Someone else says a minute after, somewhere different people are getting $5,000 worth of Mars tokens to dump on the market already. Now, I want to show you something. This was the page that was available to you during those moments, that if you were trying to access the actual protocol, the full-fledged protocol, you were not able to do so. If you were to refresh this page, you would basically see a login screen. And if you were on this screen right here, the phase 2, you would notice that the button for the launch app was not available to you. You could only access this page from like the home page because there was a button to it, but once you accessed it, there's nothing here, which is unauthorized, okay? So during these moments, these are the Discord messages that are appearing. 6:23 a.m., protocol is not yet live yet, so we can't claim now, but you can buy, right? So some people think, well, there is a liquidity pool out there and people are simply buying it. No one's able to claim it, so no one should be able to sell it. Obviously, that turned out to be wrong. Someone else put some shows over here. This is from CoinHall, the transactions that are coming through. And if you look, you can kind of see all the sell orders, right? So people are not just buying, they're actually selling. Someone else also puts an image here. This is directly from the chain. And in this case, people are actually claiming from the actual Lockdrop from phase 1. So they're claiming their Mars tokens. A moderator steps in, says, I can't confirm that's exactly what's happening right now, but it might be the case where people are interacting with the contract directly. So here we get from a moderator that yes, there are people that are getting their hands on the Mars tokens without having to wait for the UI to be up and available for everybody else. So now we started seeing some emotion coming into the chat, right? Some people are getting angry. This person says, so let me get this straight. You literally had a countdown. The site is literally saying, claim your Mars and explore Mars protocol. Yet, the button sends the user to an empty page of a sign-in request without any further information. But it's the user's fault for complaining. In the meantime, people who know the protocol better than the average user are claiming directly from the contract and selling the tokens on Astroport. Is that about the gist of it, okay? People kind of catching up to the fact that, hey, people are claiming it now and basically dumping it on those that have no clue on how they can directly interact with the contract. Again, the moderator confirms, yeah, people seemingly have been able to claim their Mars by interacting with the smart contract. This is how. And here we have some person comes in, Subspace, I'll give him credit here. He starts showing people how to do this himself. So it's giving some tips within chat as to what he did to be able to claim it himself. And this was at 6:55 a.m., okay? From what I saw, looking through all these messages, he was the first person within that Discord group that actually started showing people how to do it. We did have someone in here kind of say, please give me a refund. I'm guessing kind of a tongue-in-cheek because obviously there's no refunds here, but just kind of show you that, people obviously getting upset here. Someone else is asking here, who's dumping then if no one got the unlock? Someone says, I'm sorry, but I think this is a fair concern. This is different than a rug. Mars credibility is dropping even more than the price. This user says the fact that there are people who are able to claim and sell before the public, whoever they are, is not important. What's important is how can the dev team allow this to happen? At the same time, throughout all these Discord messages, you can see people attempting to do this themselves and failing, right? Not everyone really understands how to get it done. And this is just an example of one person that was trying to do it. It didn't work, and anyone helped that just wasn't able to follow the steps or figure out how it's actually done. Someone else chimes in and says, it's not the first time this happened in token launches. Therefore, this means no lessons were learned, or that the team did not care enough to protect all investors and only a selected few of the right information enhance benefits. Classic Wall Street moves here. And I agree with what Stalkers here says, a fucking shit show. You could also find messages such as this. Hi, the price went from 1.6 to 1.9, whereas it's not open to the public. Who's dumping on us? This is at 7:39 a.m. now. Same thing for this person. This is happening even it hasn't launched. Someone says, what the fuck, how? And you can see those red candles on that chart, right? Here's another message here. Mars team didn't create the conditions to a fair launch, to be honest. 99% of retail do not know how to query a contract. The Mars' UI delay is 100% the dev's responsibilities, and I agree with that. What's changed is that the investor conviction dropped even more than the price. I, for one, have no motivation to invest more money in a project that launches with this level of care for regular retail investors. This is another user trying to get some compensation here, right? I hope the team can provide compensation to the one who didn't claim during this time. I think it's the best solution the team can come up with. Unfortunately, I doubt that's going to happen. This user says, how in the hell can people defend the actions and call this fair? Liquidity added before the UI is open. So those who are ready for this had the significant upper hand and made tons of money, while the poor retail suffers once again. No matter how you look at it, fair isn't the word to describe it. And here finally at 8:04 a.m., the dApp is up. The decentralized application is up. And this is what is currently up, okay? So right now as I'm filming this, it's 8:48 a.m. Eastern time, and this is what you would be seeing if you would head over to Mars right now and you'd connect your wallet, and I'm clicking around. I've basically been seeing this page here for the last 20-30 minutes now. It's just not accessible. So in other words, if you were looking to try to claim your Mars tokens or your airdrops the regular way through the UI, the simple way for the average person, it still would not be possible. And let's take a look at the chart here. This is the chart for Mars right now, right? It's still sitting near its lowest here at 0.81. The UI is still not accessible. For the last, at this point, the last 2 hours, I would have to say people have been able to query the contract and to get their Mars tokens, unlike the people that are waiting for the UI. Now I'm going to show you a video that I took when I was going through the process, when I ended up claiming it and when I ended up selling it. So here you can see how much I'm successful, right? I transferred 149 Mars to my wallet. You can see here in my wallet, 149 Mars. Here I'm showing you how the actual dApp looks like. It's not accessible, right? Well, I was able to withdraw because I queried the contract. Now I'm basically swapping out my Mars for UST on CoinHole. They're pushing it through the Astroport DEX here. And you will see the price that I sold it at in a moment here once the transaction clears through. And there you go. There's a transaction. 148 Mars to 149 UST. And that was at a cost of about $1, right? $1 and a penny per token. That is what I was able to sell my Mars at. I wish I was able to get on top of this sooner and quicker to obviously sell it for a higher price, because, you can kind of see the chart. The last kind of frame in the video, you can kind of see that currently the Mars is trading at $1 and a penny, which is when I sold it. Still considerably better than the current 81 cents that it's currently being traded at. And in my opinion, I think this will continue to dump, because I think there's still so many people out there that do not know how to query a contract, that even have no clue what's going on. Like, not everybody has the time to be in a Discord and to follow the news like minute by minute. On top of that, if you are commuting or you are at work and you wanted to do this yourself on your phone, you can't even do this. You cannot query a contract on Terra Station through your phone. You can't do that. So it was only reserved to those that were on their computer in the Discord finding out what was happening, and the fact that you had a desktop to query the contract. Yeah, what was the actual steps, right? So some of you, obviously, if you're viewing this video right now, there's a good chance that the dApp is already up. There's a good chance you already claimed your tokens through the UI if you haven't done it through the contract itself. So I'm still going to show it to you just so you know moving forward. So when you have Terra Station opened up, head over to the contract tab. Here you want to enter the contract address that you are interacting with. So in this case, it would be the smart contract address for Mars. And this right here is the smart contract address for the Lockdrop for Mars. And we can kind of see here, actually, I'll just refresh this for you. Because again, you noticed how the actual Mars site is still not accessible for me, right? It says unable to reach the server. In the Discord, the messages, everyone else is kind of saying the same. I do see a few people here and there that have been able to access the full panel. So yes, there are instances where some people are able to access it. I personally am not able to access it, and I think the majority of people also are not able to do so. And as we scroll below here, you can still see how, a lot of people are claiming their rewards, and they're obviously doing it away by just querying the contract directly, right? Look at all these people claiming. And this has been the case now for the last 2 hours or so. But anyhow, what you would end up doing, you would end up copying the contract address. Heading back to Terra Station here, you drop it right here. You would not click on upload or the other option. So once this is here, you will click on execute, and you would enter this you would enter this message right here: claim rewards and unlock. And I mean, for me, it's not going to work because I already claimed it, so it's invalid. But that was actually the only steps needed to be able to claim your rewards from the Lockdrop. So it was simple, but you simply had to know about this. So if you did know about it, it's a very simple thing to do. And just to kind of quickly plug my Discord, by the way, which is completely free. I always leave it in the description below. I was actually posting about this in my Discord, telling people how to do it. I just show them screenshots and what to enter where to help people out. So it's kind of the benefits, obviously, of being in Discord, because obviously there's a lot of moving parts within crypto at all times. And usually if you're watching my videos, they're going to be a bit dated, right? So naturally, again, if you're watching how to query this contract for your Mars tokens, very likely you could already claim them from your UI. So I think it's fair to say that this did not go as it should. I expect Mars to continue going down from this price, by the way, at 81 cents. So how did this work out for me? Because from my first video, which I'll put it right there, remember that I ended up locking up 500 UST for 18 months inside Mars. And we did the math that basically I wanted to calculate my opportunity cost of that $500. If I were to deposit that same $500 into Anchor, for example, over the course of the next 18 months, I would make about $150 in interest, right? At the same time, I owned about 149 Mars tokens. So going into this launch today, I basically knew that I needed to sell each token for about $1 a piece to raise $150, and then it would match up my opportunity cost of having had taken that $500 and deposited that with an Anchor. I hope you kind of get the idea there. Now, fortunately enough, when I did manage to kind of collect my Mars tokens and then sell them on CoinHole, I did end up selling the Mars tokens for just at around $1 a piece, and I collected $149, so just about $150. So in my case, it worked out because I basically got the return, 18 months return of Anchor. I got it up front now. I could take this $150 and obviously do other things with it. I could even take that and deposit that with an Anchor if I want to get a return on that. And obviously, I would even come up even more ahead. On top of that, it is worth noting that the USC that I did deposit into Mars, it will be earning an interest for me, because ultimately, if people are going to be borrowing UST through Mars, they will be paying an interest to the depositors, such as myself. So I could make some money over there. But in general, I want to drill one important point into everyone's heads here. Stop participating in these lock drops. Stop participating in these boot swapping pools, whatever you may call them. All you are right now is exit liquidity. That's all you are. Look at this chart here of this candle over here. Look at the volume there. Now, it would take me some time to find that transaction, but you can kind of tell, like, look, there was very likely a whale there that kind of dumped a crap ton of tokens. I mean, this price went from 150 to 110 in a minute, so that's crazy. Anyhow, these projects are grossly overvalued out of the gate. When phase 2 ended, it came out that each Mars token, I believe, I'm going off memory here right now, was about $1.65, okay? There's going to be a max supply of 1 billion Mars tokens. So if we do the math there, the fully diluted value of Mars is over $1 billion, $1.65 billion. That is what apparently the retail market decided to say that Mars is worth. $1.6 billion for a project that does not yet earn a single dime in revenue. Just think about that, for example. If I had a business to sell you and I told you, wow, this business can do this and that in the future and it's going to be very popular and I want to sell it to you for $1.65 billion because maybe you have that in your bank account, would you buy my business? Would you say, you know what, that looks like a fair value? Of course you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't. And the only reason why these projects continue to garner so much value out of the gate is because retail keeps coming in and keeps getting hyped up about these projects and keeps valuing these projects at astronomical valuations. I hope with time, people get smarter and not continue to dump USD into a Lockdrop or something to push up the value of the token, because VCs are getting into these tokens, by the way, at 3, 4, 5 cents a piece. That's what they're paying. And then retail comes in and says, no, this token is actually worth $1.50 just 6 months, 7 months down the line. I mean, just think about that for a second. VCs get in for 3, 4, 5, 6 cents. Retail says it's worth $1, $1.50, $2. There's a big disconnect there, especially when you consider the fact that there's about 6 months to 1 year difference in time between when the VCs started putting their money in and once retail starts putting their money in. But anyhow, that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. If you enjoyed this video, if you're interested in more Terra-related content, make sure to subscribe down below. And again, that Discord for you to join if you'd like to do so. If you want to support the channel directly, I do have a paid membership. Some small little perks there, nothing too crazy, but just a way to support me. But thank you for watching and have a great day.